on! Get out there!
I love that get out there. Very enthusiastic. Well, welcome to the video. This is the Canning River 10K race. I'm running the 10K. There's also a marathon and half marathon on. And this course is only 7 minutes from my house, and it's actually my training route. So I run this course twice a day, every single day. So I know it really well, which I think is definitely an advantage on this course in particular, because it's very hilly or undulating. So the hills don't last a long time. It's just constantly up and down the whole way. So on the right hand side of the screen, you can see the slope angle there, and that'll just constantly be going up and down. So it's a really nice course. It's nice and sheltered here, as you can see. Nice scenery, not the fastest course. So I think whatever time I get today, it'll be the equivalent of something probably about 40 seconds faster on a flat course, but it's a good course. As you can see, the path is quite narrow. So coming into it, I was a little bit concerned about traffic because the race is pretty popular. There were hundreds of people. I don't know how many, but I reckon, I don't know, complete guess, but maybe a good 400 or 500 people across all three events. And you can see the path is just a standard footpath. So once it gets busy, I was just a little bit concerned because obviously everyone's going at different paces. You know, you've got some people doing their first marathon, and then you've got the 10K, which is obviously a lot faster. But anyway, my fears turned out to be unfounded, which is good. There were no incidents. So coming into this, bit of context. I'm 4 weeks out from my goal race, which is Bunbury Marathon. And I entered this one as a bit of a tune-up race, a bit of a fitness test. So yeah, I'm just about to enter the last training block before I taper. And this is coming off a bit of a deload week. So coming into it, I didn't want to deload too much because I was a bit scared of peaking too early. So coming into this, I've still got 113 Ks in the legs from Monday to Friday, which is a lot less than I have been doing. I've been trialing doing much higher mileage, and it's been going really well actually. So still got some decent volume in the legs, but certainly feeling fresher than I was at the end of last week and ready to give today a good rip. So the plan, in terms of time, coming into this, I'm pretty sure my current 10K PB is 39:48, I think. And that was from August last year, also during a marathon training block. So again, not an A race. And that was on a faster course, a flatter course. So given the hilliness of this course today, I'd be really happy with a 39:30. I reckon that's a pretty realistic goal for where I'm at fitness-wise on this course. I'd be absolutely over the moon with a sub 39, but I reckon 39:30 is realistic. So you can see I'm pretty much bang on pace. The first K, are we coming up? Oh, we're nearly at the end of the first K. So I went through the first K in 3:53 per K, which is a little bit fast, but it's actually perfect because the first portion of this course is net downhill a little bit. So yeah, it's a good thing that's a little bit quick. And you can see it's just a really nice course here, really good run. So I'm trying my best because I'm feeling pretty good at this stage. I'm trying my best to keep under control. I don't want to start ramping up now because there's still a long way to go. A lot can happen between now and then. And yeah, as I say, it is hilly, and I'm certainly not used to racing on hills. And I'm not actually used to racing 10Ks. This is only the second 10K that I've raced. So certainly not experienced in kind of distributing my effort across 10Ks when I'm going all out. But as I said, big advantage, I reckon, that this is my regular training ground. So I switched here for a few reasons, because there's no traffic, no cars, which is really nice. It's a really nice scenic place to run. It's quiet. But also, it being hilly, I figured that can only do good things in a training block. So also, I'm testing out all my race day kit. So I've got the running tights that I'll wear, and the running top, the socks, and even the shoes. So the shoes I'm wearing are the Alpha Fly 3s. So this is my first proper outing in them. When I bought them, I took them for a 5K, pacing my son, just in a park run, and just to see if I wanted to take them back again, because if you've been watching this channel for a bit of a while, you may remember that I did have a pair of Alpha Fly 3s a few months ago, well, quite a few months ago now, before my last marathon, and I really didn't like them. I ended up returning them actually. I just didn't get on well with them. But the reason I wanted to give them another go is because my running gait has changed so much. So at the end of the last marathon, I was suffering from a lot of runner's knee, and as a result of that, was doing a very targeted mobility program using the Movement Vault app. Coming around this first corner, lovely. And as a result of that, my hips really opened up and my stride opened up, and I guess became more of a normal runner, if that's such a thing. And I thought, well, now that my cadence isn't quite so fast, my stride length has increased so much, I'll give them another go, because they popped up in like the Black Friday sale, a good discount. I think it was like 30% off or something like that. And they were just there in my size, so I was like, oh, it's meant to be. So I bought them to give them a go, and yep, they felt fine on that 5K that I tested them on. So giving them their first run today, and I do intend to use them as my race day shoe for the marathon. But I have a backup pair if I really don't like them after today. So I've got another pair of Alpha Fly 2s, which has been my race day shoe of choice thus far. So I found a second-hand pair of one of those, which was basically brand new. I think he'd done like 40 Ks in them. So I've got a backup pair if I don't like these, but I mean, at this point, I'm loving them. So coming up to the end of the second K, and it'll cut soon. Oh, cut right there. So this camera's only got like, 20, 25 minutes of battery life. So I did the first, I think it was 1.7K, and we've got this last 3K. So I'll just read out the splits. The first K was 3:53, then 3:59, 3:55, 3:53, 3:53, 3:57, 3:54. So nice and even, really holding it together, and I'm feeling good. My heart rate's up there, so my max heart rate in recent times is 177. So I'm working, but it definitely feels under control. Although, this is only 3 Ks from the end, so you can hear the breathing certainly is a bit laboured at this point. I am starting to hurt. But my plan was to try and hold about 3:55 up into the 7K mark, which is where we are now. And if I'm feeling good, start to ramp it up. Now, I knew that the last part of the course is brutal, so it's net uphill, and especially those last 2K, it's just pretty much constantly uphill. So I knew I was going to have quite a lot left in the tank to finish this race well, because again, that's just an advantage of knowing this course so well. It really is a brutal finish, because it's not just it is uphill, but it's like increasingly uphill. And the last 200 meters in particular, they just get steeper and steeper. I mean, it's not a crazy steep hill, but at the end of a race, when you've emptied the tank, man, it feels hard. So I was happy to have this guy in front, because I'm starting to hurt at this point, and I just decided, right. Well, actually, at this point, I was thinking, I might just draft off this guy. And the reason those gaps are opening up is I run, I guess, slightly differently to most runners. I run trying to maintain a steady power, which means that I slow down quite a lot on the uphills and I speed up a lot on the downhills, because I'm aiming to keep my effort the same. So you can see gaps opening and closing. But I'm thinking, is it worth sticking with this guy to draft off him? We're probably looking, at pretty similar times. So just coming up behind him. And then in the end, I thought, you know what? You only live once. I'm feeling pretty good. Let's try and take him. So I make a move on him in a minute, which was good. And, he, at the end, he was thanking me for pulling him along, because he wasn't able to close that gap. But it sounded like he was able to, use those same psychological tricks of trying to hunt me down towards the end. And which is, that's a lot of the fun of racing, isn't it? because I do 100% of my training runs solo. So yeah, it's really fun just having others around. I mean, not that there was any pack that I was running in, it was a solo run the whole time. But yeah, and there were some sketchy moments. So because, I mean, 10k pace, my 10k pace, it's not lightning fast, but it did feel too fast to be going off this path to overtake people. So I haven't actually been watching much of the footage while I've been talking. I don't know how much we've seen of overtaking. So most of the time it's fine. You can fit like 3 people reasonably comfortably across the path. But there certainly were moments where it was getting congested, particularly with a lot of the marathoners who were traveling a lot slower. And yeah, there were some sketchy moments. I mean, it was all fine. It worked well. But yeah, from my point of view, I was just very reluctant to step off that path at pace because, yeah, I just do not want to roll an ankle or anything at this stage. So, you know, there are a few times where I slowed right down because it wasn't safe to pass. And that's racing, isn't it? But it was awesome to see so many people out here. And I think lots of first-time marathoners as well, which is really great. And I had a couple of messages from friends actually who saw me here, and I didn't see them at all. So there was another guy. He said he waved to the camera actually. I haven't been paying attention. Maybe we've seen him already. But yeah, I was just completely locked in. So the King of England could have run past and I wouldn't have known. But apparently I knew a few people out there, which is always fun. So it's a beautiful day. It was a lot warmer than expected actually. I mean, it is 19 degrees, which isn't warm for here, especially this time of year. I've been training through the summer, so I'm very much used to the warm weather. But the humidity was, I mean, it wasn't high. It was like 67%, but it just, it felt a bit warmer. And probably because I'm used to training early morning, like when it's dark as well. So this race was a later start. It was a 7:45 start time. And I never run at that time. I'm always done. Actually, my long runs tend to finish at about this time. But there we go. But as you can see, it's a really great place to train. Yeah, so maintaining steady pace. So this K I finished in, let me just look it up, in 3:57, which again, I was really happy with that because this is kind of an uphilly section. So coming around here for the last turn, and I know at this point that I'm getting pretty close to the end. So really digging deep as we round this corner to give it a solid push to the end, hopefully. And I'll probably shut up in a minute just so we can see that last K. So the second last K I did in 3:52. And I was really happy this last K we're coming up to actually ended up being the fastest K of the race, which is great because it's also had the most uphill section. So I really motored at the end. Last K I finished it in 3:51, which I was really happy with. Yeah, so anyway, I'm just going to stop talking and we can watch till the end. I'll probably jump in at some point if I see something interesting, but yeah, you can experience and empathize with some of the pain at the end of an all-out 10k race. So I really wanted to use this as a bit of a dress rehearsal and practice for my race day routine. Obviously not with in-fuel racing, but my preparation before. So I had the same breakfast that I'll have on race day, and I also loaded up on sodium bicarb and beetroot powder, and caffeine and all of that good stuff that I'll be having on race day. Not that it's necessary for this 10K, but I think the more you can practice this stuff, the better. I just wanted to make sure it was all sitting well with the stomach and that my routine's still working for me, which it is, so there were no issues at all. Looking, what a beautiful day. You don't notice it when you're running though. you're just begging for it to be over.
Good pace.
So I know at this point, time to enter the pain cave. 600 meters to go, and it's virtually all uphill. So there's a big downhill section after this, reasonably steep climb, and then it's just climbing to the end. So psyching myself up now. Yeah, you can see 309 per K. It's, you're hooking in those downhill sections. But the Alpha Fly 3s, the grip was great. I wasn't, concerned about slipping at all during this race. Come on, Jimmy. Keep pushing. 1 lap to go. Go. I'm actually so happy I know this course so well. I really do think on this course it was an advantage, just with the way it finishes and all of the undulations and hills. All right, let's go, Jimmy. 300 meters, come on, you can do it. So I actually, on my watch, I was trying to run this mostly by feel. I mean, I was glancing at it every now and then, but I wish I had overall time, because I finished, I'll give it away now. I finished in 39:13, I think was my official chip time. And 13 seconds, I just wonder, could I have found 13 seconds somewhere in there? But anyway, I guess that, we probably always think like that. It just seems tantalizingly close to that sub 39. But yeah, really happy with the result on this course. Really happy. 100 meters to go. Come on. And this is the last uphill bit to the finish.
God.
My son cheering me.
Wells and Matthew Thompson heading back out for lap number 2. James Collins has come through at the end of the 10K. Well done, James. 39:14 the time, 8th spot overall. And Jake Lazenby doing 39
sorry, mate.
to finish 9th.
Thanks for keeping me going down there. Oh, that hill at the end's a killer. So happy with how that race went. Honestly, it could not have gone any better. Most proud of the race execution. So I was happy with my discipline and that I didn't start pushing too early. Even though I felt good at the start, I just hung back a bit and waited till about the 7K mark before I assessed if I should start ramping it up. But yeah, so start to finish, it was just a gradual ramp up in power. So really good execution. I felt like I left nothing out there, but still finished strong. And I needed to finish strong because as you probably saw in the video, it was a brutal finish with the last 2k just being uphill and pretty steep uphill to finish with. So yeah, big PR. My watch said 39:12, so I'll have to wait for my official time. But on that course, as I said, just so happy with that. The Alpha Fly 3s felt really good. And yeah, I'm stoked, getting fit. So only 2 weeks of building left before I taper before the marathon. So that was a big confidence boost to run that time on this course at this stage in the marathon build off a reasonably big week still. Like, I did taper a little bit, but as I said, still came into the race with 113 Ks in the legs. So yeah, really happy with that. Yeah, it's just nice to have a confidence boost at this stage. Where did that line come from? I love it when a plan comes together. That's what it feels like now. Everything is hopefully lining up, getting fit, good signs. So bring on Bunbury. I'm going to attack these last 2 weeks hard. Bring on Bunbury. I'll see you in the next one.